Today, this weekend, is the 100th anniversary of the end of World War I. The war to make the world safe for democracy and the war to end all wars. Clearly that was a hope we still have, but one which is not yet realized. As long as there are enemies of freedom, we will count on the men and women in uniform to defend our country. Along those lines, I would like to ask Tom Rummerfeld, the chaplain of the United States Marine Corps League detachment here in northeastern PA, to start us off with invocation. Tom?
Marines, on cover. God of peace, we gather today to remember and honor and pray for those who served us through their service to our country. In times of peril, you called forth courageous and selfless individuals who faced the dangers of war and in hope to establish a lasting peace. Now, after many years, we come here again to this monument to ask you to grant eternal rest to those who paid the ultimate sacrifice. May our prayers assist them. We are confident in your presence. Amen. Cover.
I'd like to call up Ashley DeFleece, a member of the 9/11 Memorial Committee, to sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red gleam, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Ashley. Judge Munley will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Thank you very much for coming. A lot of brave souls out here. If only this war had ended in June. My name is Charlie Spano. I'm chairman of the 9/11 Memorial Committee. I want to thank you all for coming, and I want to thank especially Mayor Bill Courtwright and the City of Scranton for preparing this site today. Mayor, thank you very much. Lackawanna County, the commissioners, and Dave Isley from the Veterans Office for helping us out here today. Frank Mazza is here representing Senator Pat Toomey, and Gina Pasqualini, from whom you'll hear in a little bit, with the Voices of the Valley Chorus. The Voices of the Valley Chorus is a group of high school students that has an international reputation for great singing. They have toured in Wales, and they're planning to tour Italy very soon. And I'd like to call upon them now to sing God Bless America. Tina?
America, land that I love, stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, America, my home.
Wonderful. I'd rather hear them sing than me talk. How about you? Yeah. All right. I would like to call upon the mayor of Scranton if you'd like to make a few remarks. Mayor?
Thank you, Charlie. Wasn't that wonderful? So we have to endure a little bit of cold, but this is nothing with the men and women that defend our country have to put up with. I think today is so important because in the fast-paced world that we have, I think we tend to forget. I mean, we remember maybe the wars that are taking place now and the conflicts, but we forget sometimes what happened way back. And I'm so glad to see that we have some young children here today. So I thank Charlie and the committee for putting this together so that we never forget those men and women that gave the ultimate sacrifice and the men and women that are serving today and on a volunteer basis. So God bless you and thank you, and God bless America. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thanks, Mayor. I'd like to ask Dave Isley of the Veterans Office of Lackawanna County for a few remarks. Dave?
All right, Dad. Thanks for everybody coming out, braving the cold weather. When we decided to do this, we were doing some research, and it came to my knowledge that actually back in 1920, VFW Post 25 is the ones that erected this. And all the trees that you see around here, the members of Post 25 planted in remembrance of the service members on this wall. So we just want to give a round of applause to Post 25.
It's now my pleasure to introduce to you a man we just met recently when we had the Remembering Our Fallen memorial here in September. Colonel Little has served this country for over 25 years in uniform and has done a magnificent job. And I would like to introduce Colonel Edwards Little of the Pennsylvania Adjutant General's Office. Colonel?
Yes, thank you, Colonel. And I had a lot more remarks, but I'm going to keep them short. It's my honor to be here. I'm the commander over at the Armed Forces Reserve Center for the 5.5 Maneuver Enhancement Brigade. And as a member of those still serving, I'm proud to be here in representation for this ceremony. So World War I was supposed to be the war to end all wars, and we know that that is not true. We have men and women who are wearing the uniform now who are currently sacrificing for our freedoms that we so greatly enjoy today, right? So the 200 plus names, I believe, that are on this plaque from Lackawanna County that gave the ultimate sacrifice, the current military is in that same tradition. We connect ourselves back to that loyalty, that honor, that service that those World War I veterans so greatly demonstrated. So it's my honor to be here. It's my honor to represent the current serving military and to let you know that the tradition still continues and we will continue to serve in that manner.
Thank you. Thank you, Colonel. Thank you, Colonel. Thank you for your service. I'd like now to call upon the voices of the Valley to sing America the Beautiful.
America.
Wonderful. I also want to thank the Scranton chapter of Unico National. They brought some coffee and donuts here, so when our ceremony is concluded, please help yourself. Melanie would be very glad not to take it all back to her car. I'd like to call upon the Vice Chairman of the 9/11 Memorial Committee, Commissioner Patrick O'Malley, for some remarks and introductions. Patrick?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor and a privilege to be here. A few months ago, we were sitting talking about what the 9/11 committee was going to do next. And we started talking about the 100th anniversary of the war to end all wars, World War I. And now we're here today. We have a great partnership with our Veterans Affairs Office and also the City of Scranton, led by the mayor. To all of our veterans that are here today, please, let's applaud them. Thank you for being here. Think about what it was in 1920. There's no trees here at this point. There's thousands of people here, and this was the biggest thing that was going on in Lackawanna County. Everyone was here. They were here to remember those that gave so much, their lives, for our country. And it mattered then, and it matters 100 years later. Because if they didn't fight then, we wouldn't be here now. So their lives matter to all of us. At this time, I'd like to introduce Ashley Yando DeFleece.
Over there, send the word over there, that the Yanks are coming, the drums rum-tumming everywhere, so prepare, say a prayer, send the word to beware, we'll be over, we're coming over, and we won't come back till it's over there, over there. Send the word over there, that the Yanks are coming, the drums rum-tumming everywhere. So prepare, say a prayer, send the word to beware. We'll be over, we're coming over, and we won't come back till it's over there.
Ladies and gentlemen, you think about the wars that preceded, Civil War. We're still involved in many other small skirmishes across our country at that time. And then we come to World War I. A different war, more technology than ever. Tanks, planes, submarines. Now, submarines have been around in the Civil War, but they were advanced now at this point. So we thought this would be a great part to bring history forward. So we're going back to World War I. We want to bring one of our soldiers back. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Private Nathan Kashuba to talk about the Moose-Kasuba Argonne Offensive. The Moose-Argonne Offensive. You want to come up and say a few words? Private Kasuba.
Hi, I'm an American soldier that is on leave from the Western Front in France. Just to give you a little background, I'm part of the 28th Division 109th Infantry. I was drafted in 1917 and was trained and finally shipped over to France in 1918. When we arrived, we realized we were wholly unprepared for the type of fighting we were going to experience. To help out, our allies, the Brits, gave us helmets, these gas masks that are uncomfortable and really hard to see out of. The French gave us some Show machine guns, as well as small tanks that are slow and can sometimes be unreliable. They even taught us how to trench raid. Life in the trenches is no walk in the park. They are filled with lice, as well as rats that will steal your food and bite your toes. Mud is everywhere. If you are not careful, you will sink right into it. The trenches have a smell that you won't believe.
Many of the dead are unable to be retrieved from no man's land due to snipers. They were slowly consumed by the ground, later to be unearthed by mortars that rain down from the sky. Don't forget gas attacks and raids by enemy stormtroopers. Where I came from, though, is the Argonne Forest in France. It's finally a war of movement again. It may not be the trenches, but is still filled with a host of dangers like machine gun nests and barbed wire. Out of this darkness I see light. Many of my fellow soldiers are young, fresh, and filled with a fighting American spirit. I've seen many acts of bravery and heroism. Word is the war will end tomorrow on the 11th of November. Even though the guns may go silent, I hope the courageous actions of these men live throughout history and will never be forgotten. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, so everybody understands that in that battle, in that forest, that's where our Marines earned their nickname, Devil Dogs. Hurrah! and today is their birthday. Happy birthday! I'd like to thank Private Reenactor Kasuba for being here today. You know, it really matters to all of us. But really, I just want everybody to think of the spectacle at that point. It's 1917. Like, you mean, you sent a letter, it took months to get there. You mean, the mode of transportation for the soldiers was buses or trains, you know what I mean, or boat. You know what I mean, that's how it was. You know, I mean, it was a different life. And they went over there because they were fighting for the rights of their country. They were fighting for America. They were fighting for the families. They were fighting for their religion. They were fighting for freedom. Great men. And a lot of great women lost their lives in World War I. But just to think about it, that time, that era, there was no cell phone. There was no social media. This was them going with their hearts and souls into battle, fighting for what was right. Thank you very much for being here to all of you today. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you very much. As was pointed out, this plaque was paid for and installed by Post 25, and he doesn't know it, but I'm going to call upon Post Commander Jim Kushara to make a couple remarks because it's their plaque.
Your plaque, yes.
This is truly an honor to be here today, and I can say this for the Post 100 years ago in May, why they picked May to have the ceremony and the presentation of the plaque. It's truly an honor for me to be part of Post 25, and as monuments and plaques that they did over 100 years ago that we're still part of. As a boy who grew up in the hill section playing in the park and around this monument, no, I really didn't think much of it. But now that I'm grown up and a veteran of foreign wars, along with all my veterans out here, we really appreciate what we do for all veterans, past and present. This will show you that veterans aren't going away. We're here till eternity, till life takes us all, and then hopefully after that. Again, I want to thank everybody that was here, and hopefully in 2020 in May, we'll be back here to honor 100 years. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jim. I want to introduce Frank D'Angelo, a member of the 9/11 committee, and ask Frank to lead the delegation comprised of our dignitaries, Colonel, Jim, Mayor, Judge, to move our wreath from where it stands to place it in front of the stone. Frank, if you would. Take a pause. Picture. Excellent. Okay. I just want to let everybody be aware that in a few short seconds we will have the firing salute by the Marine Corps League, and followed by taps and then our benediction. So just be prepared for the shots. Marines, at your discretion.
Marines, uncover. God of victory, we thank you for the men and women who answered the call to protect our nation. Bless them and bless their families. We ask you to guide our leaders, grant them the wisdom to discern every action of war, so that those who serve will understand and have full confidence in their missions. May a lasting peace be attained, both between nations and in the hearts of those touched by war. May the peace you give us be the peace that we share with all. Amen. Cover.
Thank you, Tom. That concludes our ceremony. I just want to point out one person here, Chris Smith. Chris, wave. There he is. He's the director of the Veterans Outreach at Marywood University and is doing a terrific job helping veterans readapt to civilian life, among other things. Thank you all for coming. Please have some coffee and donuts before you depart.
Okay, great job. Great job. Get the coffee, get the donuts. Wonderful job.
Go on to Florida.